From a very annoyed squirrel
Stop with the stupid chime!
to a submerged talking doll.
Thank goodness.
Here's 25 amazing details in PlayStation games. Did you know in Spider-Man 2, Peter can take a break from saving the city to join in on a yoga class?
Okay. I have been feeling pretty tight lately.
Feel the vibrations around us. Let your body and mind become one.
For such a high-speed game, this does look pretty zen.
Thanks for sharing your energy with us today, Spider-Man.
Meanwhile, in the same game, it's possible for Miles to obtain the Into the Spider-Verse store-bought suit, complete with yellow cape. And if we can move that out of the way, it's possible to spot this tag. It's the same one from the movie when Miles bought it from Stan Lee. That's not the end. Zoom in closer and it reads, "It always fits eventually." Just like Stan said.
It always fits. Eventually.
When we switch between Peter and Miles, we get a unique animation, like the good old days in GTA 5. And one of these is another reference to the animated movies. It's possible to find Miles eating a bagel. It seems like a nothing moment that lasts just a couple of seconds, but if you've watched the movies, you'll know about the butterfly effect. Sorry, the bagel effect.
He took a bagel!
Over in Astro Bot, I'm sure you've run around here hitting all the cameo bots. Yeah, me too. Well, did you know, one of them is impossible to hit. Try as you might, the Hunter from Bloodborne is immune to your attacks. He always reacts with a perfect gun parry, directly taken from Bloodborne. Here it is again in super slow motion. Those reactions can only be earned over a night in Yharnam. Another formidable bot arrived in a later update, and it's Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII, who has 4 separate interactions depending on which element he is harnessing. He'll straight up electrocute Astro, he'll burn him to a crisp, and my personal favourite, freeze the little bot solid. We'll check up on him later. In Ghost of Yotei, an amazing detail can be found by going down to the waterfront at Oshima Coast. Here, you'll see a cliff wall full of names. These are all the developers who made this wonderful game. I had to use a translator app to double check that, and yep, it's true. Bow here to pay your respects, and the petals will appreciate you. Another detail happens every time you open your map when it's raining outside. The raindrops hit the parchment and begin to be absorbed, washing away the ink. And depending on how intense the rain is, the more of the map that will be affected. So impressive. Back in Ghost of Tsushima, a later update brought armor sets dedicated to other PlayStation characters. By searching the world for clues, Jin could find this. Kratos' axe embedded in a tree. And by following that side quest, this is what the armor looks like. Boy, that looks good. Oh, and a tiny detail, while walking through long grass in Tsushima, take a look at Jin's hand. He runs it through the blades just like Maximus in Gladiator. Over in Death Stranding 2 now, Sam has a little doll man to keep him company. It's too strange to explain, just go with it if you haven't played. Doll man gives us advice during the game, but look what happens if he starts talking the moment we're wading through water.
Thank goodness.
Sorry, bro. And there's another way to mistreat Dollman. Usually, he'll be happy to be thrown into the air to surveil the area.
Up and away!
Well, try this instead. Throw him at the ground repeatedly. And I mean repeatedly. Eventually, this will happen.
No, sir, I do not believe I will. Nope, I am not going anywhere. Not now, Sam. I'm really not in the mood. Put me down. I don't feel like it right now. Nuh-uh.
Yeah, he refuses to help Sam until he apologizes.
Don't you dare, Sam. I'm still upset with you.
A one-time detail was created for Astro's Playroom. During the countdown to the release of Astro Bot, it was possible to visit a secret room, and every minute another bot would join you waiting for the countdown to end. This went on for hours and ended up with a room absolutely packed. And then came the time. We all wondered what would happen when the timer reached 0. It was a bot rave, a once-in-a-lifetime bot rave. Were you there? God of War Ragnarök has some of the most devious details in video games. Whilst journeying on the Tree of Life, we get the attention of Ratatoska, the Yggdrasil squirrel. All it takes is a simple hit on his charm and he'll come running for a conversation.
I am already here, Master Kratos.
Well, keep on hitting it over and over, and eventually the squirrel will have a meltdown.
I see. You're deliberately attempting to push me into some sort of emotional outburst, aren't you? Well, I'm not so easily swayed, my good man. Stop with the stupid chime! Oh dear. I'm sorry. I don't know where that came from.
Much earlier in the game, we have our first fight with Thor. And a detail that still makes me say wow is during that fight, Kratos will punch a tooth straight out of the God of Thunder's mouth, and to my surprise, it's still in game afterwards. I came back here 50 hours later and the tooth still sits there, although it's so small you may need to use photo mode. Sometimes amazing details are ones that are realistic to life, like this one in NTE, Neverness to Everness. When crossing busy roads, the NPCs wait patiently for the green man to signal. I know you've seen that in other video games, yet what makes this great is that should you take too long to cross and the traffic lights change, the pedestrians will quickly run the remainder of the road to not hold up traffic. Such a tiny detail. I bet most people missed that one. Oh, and if you haven't heard about NTE, let me break it down for you. Neverness to Everness is like anime GTA, an urban open world to explore alone or with friends. The sheer breadth of things to do is impressive, whether that's shaking off a 5-star wanted level in your customized ride or becoming a business tycoon. Now here's the twist. The city is in fact two realities entwined, as supernatural anomalies cross over into our world, and it's your responsibility to investigate and end any threats. Each of our characters has their own skills and abilities that we link together in battle, and some have skills in the open world, like Mint here, who can commandeer vehicles. NTE is planning a 2026 release, and the recently opened CBT2 supports PS5, mobile, and PC platforms. Sign up to the pre-registration milestone event to help us unlock rewards for the entire community. If a supernatural urban open world RPG is your thing, pre-register now. And if you were wondering about another detail, yes, you can pet the dog. Recently, a discovery was made in Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, uncovering some unfinished content which was never intended to be discovered. Effectively, we can ride this bucking bronco. To do this, you'll need to go to the entrance of the club and shoot the left button 5 times, then the right button 4 times, and finally the left one again 13 times. Now run inside, and if done correctly, a new prompt will be here to ride the mechanical bull. As you can see, this was never meant to be found, but if you want to try and balance with a one-armed T-posing rivet, go for it. Let's go back in time a little to Spider-Man 2018. While fighting the locals, be sure to jump into photo mode when a rocket is fired to find the tiniest of Easter eggs. At the bottom, it reads "Guaranteed to kill spiders." How did they know we'd check what this said? Earlier in the game, Peter says something most players miss.
Not good. Can't have people taking pictures of my 3 chest hairs.
3 hairs, he says. Well, should we check in photo mode by zooming in enough? It's totally true. 1, 2, 3. Spider-Man really has 3 chest hairs. Super masculine.
3 chest hairs.
Over to a different Spider-Man now, in Marvel Tokon. The lightning-fast fighter makes it really difficult to look for amazing details, but in each stage it's packed with Marvel Easter eggs. We'll look at Xavier's School for the Gifted this time. As your match begins, you'll be watched by different mutants, like Colossus and Beast. And as each round changes, more mutants are drawn in, like Gambit and Nightcrawler. And now keep an eye on Iceman at the back here. If the match isn't exciting enough for him, he'll randomly start building ice sculptures in the garden. How cool is that detail? Should the match keep running, eventually the Sentinels will approach and the X-Men will be forced to protect their home instead of watching you scrap.
Hey, Yotei! そういえばキャプテンってことは階級は大尉なんだよね。
Nathan Drake's Uncharted series has so many amazing details to find, and this one was right in front of our eyes all along. When driving around in Uncharted 4, take a second to look at the number plate or license plate. Looks random, doesn't it? VN373. Well, let me flip the screen. It now reads Elena, who is Nathan Drake's wife. And there's even a fish here, as Fisher is her last name. Essentially, Elena is with Drake throughout the journey, or until he wrecks the car again. In the spin-off Uncharted game, The Lost Legacy, at one point, Chloe can leave her vehicle behind and climb up to the tippity top of a crazy high ancient building. Should the player go AFK here long enough, Chloe will take the opportunity to do some yoga. Spider-Man has some serious competition. Another car game with unexpected details is Gran Turismo 7. And here's one that's so tiny I doubt anyone knows it's here. Over at Daytona Speedway, you'll fly past the start-finish line thousands of times, yet jump into photo mode and take a close-up on that checkered line. It's full of graffiti left by fans and racers over the years. It's so small, it's almost impossible to see even a few steps away. So I checked if this was a thing in real life, and it absolutely is. Racers and fans have been signing the checkered line for years, and now it's immortalized in GT7. Over in Horizon Forbidden West, there's a super secret weapon waiting to be found in this location. By scaling the building, you'll uncover this children's toy bow. It's absolutely useless, as the arrows are simply suction cups. Well, it took me a while to realize what this was about, but in fact, it's the same bow from The Last of Us Part 2. Impressive detail, right? And speaking of The Last of Us Part 2, here's a detail for you dog lovers. When we first play as Abby, we get to throw a ball for our favourite mutt. A little game of fetch is always touching, right? Well, the devs knew some players would not be into this, and should you yeet the ball over the fence instead of playing with the dog, you'll hear this.
Sorry, buddy. My bad.
She might be sorry, but I'm not. Any Returnal fans in the house? The horror bullet hell game has a detail which links straight into the story, but it's so easy to miss. Look around and you should spot a spaceman watching you almost all the time. Yet, if you break the line of sight for just a millisecond, they will vanish into thin air, leaving gamers asking themselves if they really did see a spaceman. Luckily, we can record our footage, and yes, we totally did. And finally, a look to the future of PlayStation games. Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, the game that actually inspired this video. For one detail in particular, have you seen the main character put on her jacket? I've never seen this done well in a video game, and come to think of it, I don't think I've ever seen it done in a video game. Have you? I can't wait to delve into Intergalactic. Let me know if you'd like a part 2 to this video. I'm Adam, you're awesome, it's been a pleasure. See ya!